Deep within a forgotten land lies Blackthorn Hollow. Sunlight struggles to penetrate the dense canopy. The air hangs heavy with the scent of damp earth and decaying leaves. Twisted branches reach out like grasping claws. Eerie sounds echo through the woods. Leaves rustle and unseen creatures stir. Blackthorn Hollow is a place of secrets. Legends whisper of ancient rituals and forgotten gods. The living and the dead walk side by side. The forest remembers. It holds the memories of those who have walked its paths. Their laughter and their screams echo through the trees. Some believe the forest is a gateway to another realm, a place where time has no meaning and the laws of nature are twisted. Only the bravest or most foolish dare to enter Blackthorn Hollow, for within its depths something waits. For generations, villagers have avoided Blackthorn Hollow. They tell stories to their children, warnings passed down through the ages. Stay away from the woods, they say. Never go there alone. The forest is said to be home to all manner of creatures. Some are harmless, content to keep to themselves. Others are malevolent, eager to prey on the unwary. But there is one creature that inspires more fear than any other. They call them the Mournwood Wraiths. Trapped between worlds, they wander the woods in search of peace. Blackthorn Hollow's haunting reputation extends far beyond the legends of the Mournwood Wraiths. Locals whisper of strange occurrences, unexplained events that defy rational explanation. They speak of whispers carried on the wind, faint voices calling from the depths of the forest. Some believe these whispers are the voices of the dead, trapped within the forest's embrace. Others claim they are the forest itself, speaking its ancient secrets to those who dare to listen. Travelers passing near Blackthorn Hollow report a strange heaviness in the air. A palpable sense of dread settles upon them, as if they are being watched by unseen eyes. Animals, too, sense the forest's unsettling presence. Even on the brightest of days, a sense of unease pervades Blackthorn Hollow. The air is thick with the scent of decay, a constant reminder of the forest's relentless hunger. Blackthorn Hollow is a place where time seems to stand still. The forest remembers. It holds the memories of those who have walked its paths, their joys and sorrows etched into its very being. Some say the forest feeds on these memories, drawing sustenance from the emotions of those who dare to enter. Those sensitive to such things claim to feel the echoes of the past within Blackthorn Hollow. They sense the lingering presence of those who have perished within the woods, their emotions imprinted upon the very air. Legends speak of a time when Blackthorn Hollow was a place of great power. Ancient druids are said to have held their rituals within its depths, drawing upon the forest's energy to commune with the spirits of the earth. But something went wrong. Now, the forest's power is a double-edged sword. Over the centuries, countless souls have vanished within Blackthorn Hollow's shadowy depths. Some were foolish travelers, lured off the beaten path by curiosity or greed. Others were locals venturing into the woods in search of lost loved ones or valuable herbs. Whatever their reasons, they all met the same fate. Swallowed whole by the forest's embrace, never to be seen again. Villagers from surrounding settlements whisper of a curse. They say that Blackthorn Hollow demands a toll, a sacrifice to appease its hunger. Despite the risks, there are always those who refuse to heed the warnings. Driven by desperation, curiosity, or a thirst for adventure, they venture into Blackthorn Hollow's depths, never to return. Of all the unsettling tales whispered around flickering hearths and beneath starless skies, none chill the blood quite like the legend of the Mournwood Wraiths. They are the forest's most enduring mystery and its most feared inhabitants. The Mournwood Wraiths are real. Their whispers slither through the trees, carried on the wind. They are the echoes of those the forest has claimed. Their souls, unable to find peace, remain trapped within Blackthorn Hollow. Some say the Wraiths were once travelers, lured to their doom by the forest's deceptive beauty. Others believe they were locals, punished for transgressions against the ancient woods. Whatever their origins, they are bound to Blackthorn Hollow. The Mournwood Wraiths are caught in a state of perpetual torment. Neither living nor truly dead, they exist in the spaces between. Unable to move on, they are bound to the physical realm by unfinished business, or perhaps by the forest itself, which feeds on their anguish. They yearn for release, for peace, but the path to the afterlife is barred to them. So they wander the shadowy paths of Blackthorn Hollow, their mournful cries echoing through the trees. Some believe the wraiths are drawn to the living. The Mournwood Wraiths are said to possess a sinister ability. They can mimic the voices of loved ones, luring unsuspecting victims deeper into the forest with promises of comfort and reunion. Imagine, if you will, a lone traveler, lost and afraid in the woods. The sun begins to set, shadows lengthen, and the forest comes alive with whispers. Suddenly they hear a voice calling their name, a voice they thought they'd never hear again, a voice filled with love and longing. Turning towards the sound, they see a figure emerge from the mist, a figure that looks familiar, but not quite right. The tale of Elias Granger is not one whispered in hushed tones around a crackling fire. No, Elias's story is different. It is spoken with a mix of respect and pity, a cautionary tale, not of foolish curiosity, but of bravery tested and innocence lost. Elias was known throughout the nearby villages as a man of the wilds. A tracker by trade, he knew the forest better than most. He respected its power, understood its unpredictable nature, yet he never truly feared it, not until that fateful day. A young villager, a boy barely old enough to hunt, had wandered into Blackthorn Hollow and never returned. Days turned into weeks, hope dwindled to despair. Yet Elias, driven by a sense of duty and compassion, volunteered to enter the dreaded forest and search for the missing boy. The forest was unnervingly silent. Even the whispers of the wind seemed to hold their breath as Elias ventured deeper into its heart. He moved with practiced ease, his senses alert for any sign of the missing boy. Hours turned into a nightmarish blur of twisted trees and swirling mist. Then he heard it, a voice, soft at first, barely audible above the rustling leaves. It called his name. Elias! The voice was achingly familiar, a voice he thought he'd never hear again. It was his mother's voice. Elias froze, his heart pounding in his chest. His mother had been dead for years. He knew it was impossible. The deeper Elias went, the colder the air grew. The forest seemed to close in around him, the trees pressing closer, their branches intertwining overhead to block out the last vestiges of daylight. The air grew thick with the scent of decay, a cloying sweetness that made his stomach churn. The voice continued to call to him, guiding him deeper into the forest's labyrinthine embrace, but the tone had changed. It was no longer the loving, familiar voice of his mother. It was something colder, more menacing, the voice of something pretending to be human. Panic welled up inside Elias. He stumbled over a gnarled root, his lantern falling from his grasp. Blindly, Elias scrambled for his fallen lantern, his fingers closing around cold, damp earth. Panic threatened to overwhelm him. He had to get out of the forest, had to escape the whispers that seemed to be closing in on him from all sides. Then he saw it, a faint ethereal glow emanating from the depths of the forest. It pulsed with an unnatural light, casting eerie shadows that danced and writhed like living things. The whispers grew louder, urging him forward. With a surge of desperate courage, Elias stumbled towards the light. As he emerged into a small clearing, he gasped. Standing in the center, bathed in the green glow, was a figure. It was vaguely human-shaped, its features obscured by swirling mist. Elias Granger's escape from Blackthorn Hollow was as miraculous as it was terrifying. He stumbled out of the forest as dawn broke, a shattered shadow of his former self. Gone was the confident tracker, the man who knew the woods like the back of his hand. In his place stood a haunted figure, his eyes hollow with a terror that would never truly leave him. He babbled incoherently about his mother's voice, about glowing eyes and a chilling grin that promised eternal torment. The villagers, initially relieved to see him alive, listened to his tale with a growing sense of unease. Some dismissed his words as madness, the ravings of a man driven to the brink by fear and exhaustion. Others, those who remembered the old stories whispered around dying fires, saw the truth reflected in Elias's haunted gaze. Elias Granger was never the same. He abandoned his life as a tracker, unable to bear the thought of entering the woods again. The forest, once his sanctuary, now represented a prison of his own making, a constant reminder of the horrors he had witnessed. He became a recluse, withdrawing into himself, haunted by nightmares and whispers only he could hear. The villagers, initially sympathetic, gradually distanced themselves. His pain was a constant reminder of the darkness that lurked just beyond the safety of their homes. Only the children, drawn to his quiet sadness, dared to approach him. They would sit at his feet, listening with wide, solemn eyes as he recounted his tale, not as a story of adventure, but as a warning. Despite Elias's chilling account, Blackthorn Hollow remained an enigma, a place of shadows and secrets that continued to fascinate and terrify in equal measure. The villagers kept their distance, heeding the warnings passed down through generations. Yet there were those, drawn by a morbid curiosity or a thirst for the unknown, who ventured into the forest's depths. Some returned, shaken but unharmed, their tales adding further fuel to the legend. Others disappeared without a trace, swallowed whole by the forest's embrace. Blackthorn Hollow remains an enigma, a place of haunting beauty and chilling whispers forever shrouded in mystery. The tales told by those brave or foolish enough to venture into its depths paint a picture of a forest unlike any other. It is a place where the veil between worlds wears thin, where the past bleeds into the present, and the echoes of those lost within its embrace linger on the wind. The Mournwood Wraiths, with their sorrowful cries and deceptive promises, serve as a chilling reminder of the forest's power. Blackthorn Hollow speaks to our deepest fears, the fear of the unknown, of the darkness that lurks at the edge of our perception. It reminds us that some places are best left undisturbed, some secrets best left buried. Yet, despite the warnings, the forest continues to beckon. Its allure, like the mournful call of the wraiths, promises something more, something beyond the mundane world we know. But at what cost? Blackthorn Hollow serves as a cautionary tale, a reminder to respect the power of the natural world and the dangers of straying too far from the beaten path. The forest does not distinguish between the innocent and the guilty, the brave and the foolish. It embraces all who dare to enter, drawing them into its web of shadows and whispers. Some find solace in its embrace, a connection to something ancient and primal. Others find only despair, their hopes and dreams devoured by the darkness. Whether we choose to heed the warnings or succumb to our curiosity, Blackthorn Hollow remains, a testament to the enduring power of stories and the shadows that linger at the edge of our collective imagination. The forest waits, silent, watchful, and eternally patient. And when the shadows speak, it is up to us to decide whether we dare to listen.